Hello, my name is Dave Diggle and I'm a certified accounting technician and a British qualified financial advisor to UK practicing standard. My family and I have lived near Casada on the Costa Blanca since 2006. Very simply, financial advising for expat concerns itself with either making more money for you, saving costs for you, or helping you to legally avoid the various income, capital gains and inheritance taxes. So if you want a better return on your money or a better exchange rate than you are currently getting from your bank, or you wish to explore the benefits of a UK pension transfer to a CureOps, then please call me for a quick chat to see how I can help, as I nearly always can benefit you in some way. Thank you for watching these short videos. If I can be of service, please call me on my landline 0034 for Spain 865 751 713, or you can email me at info@daviddiggle.es. I look forward to seeing you soon. I'm very proud to say that I work for an excellent British company called Blacktown Financial Management. This was formed in 1986 by our CEO, John Westwood. The ultimate head office is in Surrey, England, but all of our European sub-offices report to our Gibraltar head office, which is the home of our regulator, the Gibraltar Financial Services Commission. I'm personally attached to the Blacktown office in Javier in North Costa Blanca, but as I live in South Costa Blanca, I usually do home visits for clients down this way, and often travel to further afield to places such as El Maria and Andalusia. If you have a currency transfer to make between the UK and Spain, from euros to sterling or vice versa, then instead of using the exchange rate that the bank gives you, please call me first. I know that when I first bought my house out here, I could have saved around £3,000 on the exchange rate fees taken by my bank when I bought the euro equivalent of a £100,000 property. Unfortunately now, I'm too wise and too late. But it's not too late for you. The savings we can make on both bulk movements for things such as property purchases or regular monthly movements such as a pension payment from the UK to your euro bank account here in Spain are incredible, huge savings. All you have to do is contact me. We get paid for the time being by collecting a commission on products recommended and taken up by you. So you do not need to pay us directly, and if you do not proceed with the recommendation, there's no charge anyway. EU regulation on this is due to change in the next year, where we may be required to charge clients up front. The following is a case study for investment purposes of a typical family situation that we encounter daily. Supposing there's a husband and a wife who are British expats and are Spanish residents, and they have £20,000 or more sitting in bank accounts in the UK and or in Spain, earning next to zero return. They require income and some growth if possible, and would be happy with 4 to 5% per annum, certainly more than they are currently receiving from their bank. They wish to be able to access the cash at any time in case of emergency. They also wish to avoid inheritance tax between each other or the freezing of accounts, as occurs in Spain, until the settling of affairs has been completed. They have 2 children, both resident in the UK, and would like to pass all of their money to their children when they die, thus avoiding the bureaucracy and procrastinating tactics by certain foreign institutions. They do not have an accountant here in Spain, and they don't know what they need to report to the Spanish tax authorities. The investment risk profiling questionnaire assesses them as cautious, and this essentially dictates that for a low risk, they can expect to gain a return that outperforms inflation and bank deposit interest. They have stated they do not want exposure to higher risk for high return. In response to our case study couple, our typical recommendation would be to recommend a particularly cautious investment product produced and packaged by the Prudential, whom all of us expats know well, as Prudential have been around since 1848. The product would be the International Prudence Bond, specifically designed for expats to be registered in both the husband and wife's names. Should one die before the other, as is a normal situation, the bond continues as if nothing has happened, so there will be no obligation to inheritance tax and no freezing of accounts, as is usual in Spain. The Prudential publish expected growth rates every 3 months, so the client would know in advance how their money would grow. Since the launch of this product 19 years ago, it has always outperformed inflation and bank deposit rate returns, sometimes admirably. The expected growth rate, as calculated and paid daily by the Pru, will be shown on this page. The Prudential is a financially robust company, so this also helps satisfy the cautious nature of this client. The investment product is held in a Spanish compliant bond and is held outside of Spain. This not only satisfies the client wishes for an easy transfer of assets to their children upon their passing, as the assets are held outside of Spain, but it also takes care of income tax reporting and satisfying the Spanish Modelo 720 reporting. This is the overseas asset reporting requirement for anything over 50,000 euros per person. Therefore, the clients do not have to do anything, let alone engage an accountant. This particular product allows for instant access if really needed, and it pays income at regular intervals of the client's choosing, such as monthly or quarterly. Assuming you will have contacted me in order to help you get a decent return on your money, anything above 3.5% per annum, or you've contacted me to help you and your family avoid certain tax obligations, because these things are not just for the rich, then regulation requires that in order for a professional advisor to be able to recommend any financial product, it must suit your purposes or be commensurate with your risk profile, objectives, or family circumstances. To do this, I complete a risk profiling questionnaire and a detailed fact find of your financial position. I will look at the detailed fact find that we have completed and decide which products best address your needs. My recommendations take the form of a very detailed letter, along with product brochures of the products being recommended. Everything will be explained to you fully. That's it. A few days to digest the material, and if you want to take up my recommendations, then you call me. If the recommendation involves movement of money, this will be sent from your bank account or pension fund directly to the recommended product provider, such as the Prudential or Old Mutual. It does not go through our bank accounts. My guarantee is that I will not recommend a product that will put you outside of your comfort zone, and I also guarantee that I will not call you more than once after I've given you my recommendation. This process not only relates to investments, but also to pension issues and cure-ops transfers. Our minimum investments start from £20,000 or 25,000 euros, and there is nothing to fear, and I only make a recommendation if it's appropriate. I also only use household name firms with a very strong reputation, and for pension transfers, pension trustees listed by HMRC. I'm able to find the best mortgage for you here in Spain from a network of banks that I use. I cannot deal with some of the banks as they are simply too difficult and time-consuming to communicate with due to their lack of service-orientated outlook. With the banks I do deal with, I'll choose the most suitable mortgage for you and obviously at the lowest rate. If I made you a saving of just 0.1% on your mortgage interest rate on a €200,000 loan, that would equal €200 per year saving. On a 20-year mortgage, that's €4,000. So if you have any mortgage requirements here in Spain, please call me. I can get capital repayment mortgages and interest-only mortgages for both resident and non-resident expats. A typical cure-ops case study might be as follows. We have a Spanish resident client who's just retired and she's been outside of the UK for more than 5 years, but she is worried because she's been offered a very low annuity from her 2 British Works pension pots, amounting to just 2.5% per annum. She's also heard that some pension funds are unfunded, meaning there may not be enough in the funds to pay the promised pensions to members. She's also heard there can be a large tax on pension pots levied against her heirs, up to 45%. She's unhappy in that both pension companies are difficult to deal with when she phones to find out more information on her options, and she gets passed from department to department, and it costs a fortune in phone calls. Finally, if she's paid from her current pension company, they will deduct tax, and if she's due a refund, she will need to reclaim it back from HMRC. This will be complicated for her. The 2 pension pots are valued at £54,000 together. The client has some experience in investing, and the risk profile questionnaire indicates that she has a balanced outlook on investing as opposed to cautious or aggressive. Ideally, she needs to take a withdrawal of 5% per annum of the fund values, but taken monthly, whether the pension is making a gain or not. She would like to be able to access more cash if needed in an emergency. She's indicated that she is unlikely to return to the UK and will remain living in the sun. A typical response to the CureOps case study would be to recommend transferring both pension pots to a CureOps, which is a qualified, recognised overseas pension scheme. We put them into one pot, which makes it easier for administration while she is alive and after she has passed on. We would use a Flexi Access scheme. In this Flexi Access scheme, it becomes the client's money, controlled by and ring-fenced for her. It is not subject to whether her existing pension schemes in the UK run out of money or not. This is a very important point. And unlike an annuity, she can take what she wants when she wants, and her family will get 100% of the remaining fund when she dies. This is also a key point for most clients. The pension scheme will be situated within an EU country to avoid the various penalties introduced by the UK recently. In this case, it will be in Malta, which is a robust financial regulation scheme. I would select the pension company offering the cheapest annual trustee charges, as well as the convenience of contact for you and us. This company would be registered with HMRC and be compliant with HMRC rules. The rules of the pension scheme would allow for the usual 25% tax-free lump sums to be paid and any other amounts that the client requires without restriction. Accordingly, the underlying investment will need to be just as flexible, given the client's wish for flexi access to as much as she wants, when she wants. Therefore, we would recommend a managed portfolio service, probably held in Jersey, which also has a robust financial regulation. The product spreads investments between, on average, 18 daily traded funds, so that a sale can be made immediately should extra cash be needed. In the case described, we would recommend investing in a balanced portfolio that should net around 5 to 6% per annum on an annualized basis. Using this managed portfolio service avoids us having to use a bond to hold the investments, and that reduces another line of charges for the client. The pension company will pay the income gross to the client and without deduction of taxes, and it will be the client's responsibility to declare the income and pay any taxes due. This way, the client has control, as that is what she wants. I'd like to share a few reviews with you from happy clients.